What's up, everybody? Welcome to day 79 of NoFap. The time is 8:20 a.m. I am on my way to the gym for back and bicep day. It's been a really good few days. I rested for most of them. Didn't do really any work or anything. I didn't do anything. I worked out on Saturday for ab and leg day, and when I got back, I enjoyed my Christmas, and for the next 3 days I was like, all right, let's just take it easy. Let's just take a break. This is Christmas. I'm gonna take a break, and it was a pretty good break. I had a really decent time with my dad and my brothers. And my family, we're Asian. We're very traditionally Asian, so we don't really talk to each other too much. We don't know too much about each other. It's a very not strict. It could be strict sometimes, but it wasn't really a strict household. It's just a very shy household, very introverted household, and it passed on quite a bit. But it's also the reason why I had an amazing time was because I actually made an effort to do something on Christmas, and we went bowling. I was just like, I don't know what to suggest. I'm gonna suggest bowling, and turns out that was a great Christmas activity with the men of the house, with the men of the family. So yeah, I had a really good time. I had a really good Christmas. But now all that's over. I'm going to go back to work. I almost, honestly, taking a break for 4 days, I almost didn't want to get out of bed. I'm going to be honest. And that's what happens when you take a break. Your momentum stops, and it's harder to get back on the horse sometimes, It's really just making it a habit, I had to I had to think myself back into the routine, and that was difficult. But that's what happens when you take a break. It's just you get used to being sedentary. So I have to go through all of that again just to make sure I don't get too comfortable with being comfortable. But all of that now goes to back and bicep day. And because I took such a long break, I imagine that I'm going to be able to hit those weights pretty hard. So I'm looking forward to that. But it is Thursday. It's going to be another work day. My church is closed for this weekend, so I'm going to be working. Well, not on the Sunday, but I am going to be working on the other days as well. There's no Bible study until next year, which means next week. Also, as you may have noticed, there's something on my lip, some injury. I have no idea what that is. It was as soon as I got home. Well, not got home. The day after I picked up my brother and my dad, suddenly my lip started swelling, and I have no idea what this is, but it's healing. So I'll take it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it. If it ever got bad, I would go to the doctor. But I was like, all right, well, sometimes this will happen. So we're just gonna wait it out. We're gonna see what happens, and turns out I don't know what it is. I still don't know what it is, but it is healing. It stopped swelling. Now it's healing, but it's certainly annoying when I have to eat and stuff like that and brush my teeth. It hurts, but I'm about to make it not hurt as much because I'm going to destroy my back and biceps. So I will update you guys in a little bit, but for now, check out this workout. What's up, everybody? We're back. It's 12:01 a.m. It's gonna be a long night, but let's get into it. So, I had an amazing workout, a fantastic workout. Certainly, I mean, I wasn't at the weight that I wanted it to be, but it was still a good workout, enough to where I'm gonna be sore tomorrow. Definitely. But yeah, it was a good day at the gym. And, I hadn't gone to the gym. This is my longest hiatus from the gym in a long time. So, coming back to the gym, just get the ball rolling again. Felt really good. I can't wait to go again tomorrow. But I got back from the gym, all that stuff, and I started to, do a little bit of work on my business, and didn't really do much Instagram today. Didn't do it at all, but I just mostly worked on my business. I really wanted to get another product out there, especially before I wanted to get a new set of ads before the new year started. So I ordered a new set of ads for a new product. So hopefully I can start doing that when the year starts, but for now, it was just doing a lot of research today, business research. I will say NoFap was very difficult today. It was very, very difficult. I think that taking this long of a break kind of screwed up my schedule, and it's true what they say, that you're the sum of the people you hang out with, the 5 people you hang out with. And just from my father and my brothers visiting, it really messed things up for me schedule-wise and habits-wise, because I wasn't going to the gym, and I don't know, man, like, I ate a lot, obviously, when I was with them. No more than, a little bit more than, slightly more than I would usually eat, especially since I'm bulking. But just also the attitude, I guess, kind of got to me as well. I don't know. They're certainly not on this. They're not on the same path that I am trying to be on. I was on and trying to be on again. They're not doing high risk things. I'm doing acting and business, both high risk things, and I really need to be focused on that. And it was rough being around them, because they don't really, it's not that they don't understand what I'm doing, it's that they don't really care. So I guess I got that energy kind of around me. It's just that I didn't really care about a whole lot of stuff. And it was rough. It's rough trying to get back into the habits of things. Things that I didn't even, less than a week. It hasn't even been a full week since I started doing that. Since I stopped doing my daily routine. and now I'm trying to get back on the daily routine. It's really difficult to pick up the momentum. Like even tonight, it's 12 a.m. I slept really, really late when they were over because they sleep really, really late and they don't wake up super early. And I didn't wake up super early because of that. So I've become used to sleeping late. And I want to get back to sleeping at a reasonable time so that I can wake up early and go to the gym. I could already tell that by tonight, by the time this video is done uploading and I go to bed, it's going to be a really, really rough morning. So it's just getting back into the habit of things, getting back into the swing of things. I'm not going to be seeing any kind of relatives until like March. So 3 months. I have 3 months. Well, 2 months, 2.5 months maybe, before I see another relative. So with that, I'm gonna barrel down. I mean, I want to get into the habit of not breaking my habits, even with family over. So I think it was because I wanted to take Christmas off. And then from there, it kind of just spiraled into something that's really rough to get out of. So, yeah, this was a good wake-up call to be like, yeah, you're not doing the things you need to be doing. You need to get back on that life. So, it was a good wake-up call today. So, I'm gonna do my best. But anyway. Yeah, NoFap was tough today because of that. It's very tough. And I barely survived. I mean, I peaked a little bit. I won't lie. I'm not gonna lie. I peaked a little bit. But it was very difficult. NoFap for today. I didn't relapse, thankfully, but it was tough. Which goes to it's gonna be my advice for today. It's gonna be my advice for today is don't lose momentum. Don't lose momentum. You're trying to live a different life. You can't go back to your old life. And I made the mistake of dipping into my old life for far too long. Far too long. I can take 1 day off, but if I take more than that, it's gonna mess me up. So don't lose momentum. You know, once you've built something up, you know, don't go back to your old life. Don't go back to your old habits. Don't go back to the way you used to live, because if you do, it's gonna suck, and it's gonna be hard to get back into that habit of your new life. You know, you want to be a changed person, then you have to remain a changed person. You have to develop the habits of that changed person. So don't lose momentum. My advice for today. Let's get your comments from a few days ago. Disto. Hey brother, just started my 3rd month on NoFap and lost my superpowers. Have you lost yours then regained it? I don't really consider, I mean, I haven't done, like, I haven't looked it up in a long time, but I know that, you know, NoFap gives you superpowers. Doing NoFap gives you superpowers. And I don't really like to call them superpowers. It seems kind of ridiculous to me. I prefer to call it the natural state, because where you are when you're addicted to pornography and you're doing that every day, that's unnatural. Where you are when you're doing NoFap and you get to those days where you start to, you start to feel and notice the differences. Those differences are your natural state. It is not, I don't consider them superpowers. I consider it going back to your natural state. So, Did you lose your natural state? No. I've never really experienced superpowers or going back to a natural state. I notice, I have more energy. I notice I'm way more focused. I'm more brain power and stuff like that. But I don't lose it unless I eat a lot. Honestly, that's all NoFap does for me is I have way more energy. I have way more energy, way more focus, and yeah, pretty much it. And the only time that I lose that is if I continue a different bad habit or do something else that I don't think is good for me. And for that, it was carbs. Introducing carbs back into my life, while it's great for lifting, it's great for my bulk, it also made me extremely tired and made me feel like I lose focus. So, it could be other factors. It doesn't have to be like NoFap. It could be other factors. Maybe there's another thing in your life that you need to get rid of to get those, to return back to your natural state. But yeah, I guess losing the natural state, which is more energy and more focus, that happens on when I eat a lot of carbs. But other than that, no, I don't really lose that. It doesn't. I don't know. I don't really feel like I lose that. But hey, maybe you got some other stuff you gotta try out this. So, but that's up for you, man. That's up to you. You figure that out. You figure out what works and what doesn't. What you're doing that's making you feel like you lost your superpowers. But anyway, Mike, congratulations on the job. I wish you much success with it. Thanks, man. Log all your mileage and car expenses so you can deduct them as business expense. That's a good idea, actually. I should do that when the taxes roll in. Yeah, I've already made quite a bit of money on it, so it's quite nice. Don't sweat your ads right now. People don't order stuff during Christmas. I mean, yeah, that's true. Most of the time, all the Christmas shopping's done, and people are sweating with how little how much money they're spending. So they're gonna get their paychecks at the end of the day. They're gonna get their Christmas bonus. So I'm gonna take advantage of that as much as I can. They're preoccupied and they don't want it delivery to arrive when they're traveling away from home. That's true. I'm actually dealing with a customer right now that their product doesn't work, and so I might have to send them another one, but I need confirmation that their product isn't working, and they aren't at home right now to record my product not working, so I'm gonna have to wait for that. But yeah, you're right about reaching 5 years unfapped. Even at 6 months, you have very little expectation of release, so it's perfectly fine if you never have it. Yeah, again, it's like what I said with Distill. It's a natural state. It becomes your natural state, and from there, it's just it's not something you struggle with anymore. If it's been there, it's not a huge deal anymore because that's now the new normal. Which I have a story about that. You just feel incredible masculine energy. Bigelow makes the best Earl Grey tea by far. I've never had Bigelow. I don't think I've ever had that. My favorite protein is beef. Nice, very versatile. Different cuts of beef, very versatile. Actually, I want to ask that for my question of the day, which is, what's your favorite cut of beef? For me, I like, if I'm having steak, I'm gonna say, what's your favorite cut of beef to have as a steak? Because there's favorite cuts of beef to have in a stew or all that stuff. But for steak, I'd have to say I'm a little bit more. If I'm eating on a budget, sirloin by far. Sirloin's amazing. I like it better than tri-tip. Tri-tip steak. I like sirloin steak. But if I'm going a little bit more high end, like I get a Wagyu for it, I have to go ribeye. Ribeye's really good to me. It's just like the nice amount of chewy, good. Like if there's a good marbling to it too. Like I like a good ribeye. There's a lot of fat content that I like about ribeye. But yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh right. Yeah, I have a little story about normality and how it's supposed to be, because when you treat something as like this huge occasion, you start to see it as abnormal, and you start to treat it as abnormal. And when you treat it as abnormal, it's in your thoughts. You're constantly thinking about it. It goes through your mind. It's not something that just automatically seems like it's right. You know, it's something that you have to say, oh, this isn't normal. And people have to, you got to think about it. And an example of that, when I was a kid, when I was a very young person, and I was born and raised in California, so I have very, very liberal ideas jammed in my head from the beginning of when I was born. I no longer hold those ideas because those ideas are quite destructive. But, well, I shouldn't say liberal, I would say lefty. I have very lefty ideas jammed into my head as soon as I was born. I had lefty ideas jammed into my head. And one of those topics was the gay pride parade. Those were just starting to happen. The gay pride parades were starting to happen. And I was all for it. I mean, I wasn't gay, but I was all for it because I was just like, human rights and all that BS. And what confused me, because I was using conservative ideas for a liberal agenda. So everybody wants to celebrate being a gay guy or just celebrate homosexuality. And I was just like, why? Why are we celebrating this? Everybody's throwing a parade. Why? That's stupid. Why would you want to throw a parade? And everybody was getting on my case. Everybody around me was getting on my case. Like, why wouldn't you get why wouldn't you have a parade? Why wouldn't you have a gay pride parade? It would be great. It's great to celebrate all of this stuff. And I'm just like, why? You don't straight people don't celebrate when they're straight. If you want homosexuality to be, I was explaining it to somebody. I was like, if you want homosexuality to be a normal thing in society, treat it like it's normal. Stop treating it like it's this huge thing. If you want it to be normal in society, treat it like it's normal. If somebody says it's weird, you tell them they're weird for thinking that it's weird. And people were getting on my case for it. I managed to change a few people's minds, but people were getting on my case for it. I was just like, you guys are idiots. You celebrating it is the reason why people don't think it's normal. People celebrate things that aren't normal. Give you an example. Christmas. It's a time of year when people give each other gifts. More importantly, it's when we recognize that a virgin gave birth to the Savior of the world. But it's also a time when people give each other gifts, decorate a tree, talk about some big fat dude coming down your chimney giving you, leaving presents under that tree. Like, it's not normal. That's not normal, and people celebrate it. It's a holiday. Great. But you don't do that every year. You don't do that every day. So if you're trying to normalize all this stuff, you don't go around celebrating it and treating it like it's this huge deal. So yeah, it's that was an idea that I had when I was a lot younger. Now I no longer have those ideas. Now I'm just like, you guys are idiots, and rightfully so. You guys are idiots. But same thing with NoFap. It's the same thing with NoFap. The more you dwell on it, the more you think about it, the more you're just like this is like, I want to be on NoFap. Here's the amount of days that I've been on NoFap. Here's all the stuff about NoFap. and you're constantly living, like NoFap's become a part of your daily routine, your life, and you can't stop talking about it, and you can't stop just having it around, then you're not treating it like it's normal. You want to go back to that state of normality. You want to go back to your natural state. And for it to be your natural state, it needs to be as comfortable as breathing. It needs to be as comfortable as blinking. Not looking at stuff like that needs to be your natural state. And if you constantly treat it as something unnatural, then you're going to get hung up on it. Now, I say that while I'm doing NoFap vlogs and doing it every day. But I'm doing it until I hit 90. It's really just it was really just a way to keep myself accountable, because I'm still kind of trapped in that mindset. But I know that after 90 days, I no longer want to do this. I just want to I want to continue my life as normal. I want to do vlogs just normally, not have it be all about NoFap. I'm slowly transitioning into that. I don't know if you've noticed in the past vlogs, I've been talking about NoFap. It's been less and less mentioned. NoFap has been less and less mentioned. I mention it twice. I mention it when I tell people how it's gone for me. And most of the time, I think a majority of the time, it usually is pretty easy, especially when I'm on my daily routine, because I've incorporated it into my daily routine where it's starting to get as comfortable as breathing. So yeah, it's being mentioned less and less. So I mention it when just to tell you how it's going. And then the second time I mention it is advice for anybody that's still going through it, that it's relapsed recently or is struggling with like day 3 or 1 week or 2 weeks or 1 month. Like it's for those guys. But for the rest of the people that are succeeding, that are still following me on my day, NoFap, I believe I said 79 today. For those of you who are still following that, you're fine. You don't really need to listen to that. I'm just doing a vlog for you guys. That's really it. But once I hit 90, these are just going to be regular vlogs. I'm not going to be doing them every day. I don't want to do them every day, honestly. I don't want to do them every day. Maybe like twice a week. And just to show you guys what I've been up to, how I'm bettering myself constantly. Because that's really the goal. I want this not to be like today. This vlog is like, the title of this channel is Everyday Truer. It's not NoFap Vlogs. I have NoFap Vlogs, but it's not the title of my channel. The title of my channel is Everyday Truer. And it's just making sure that every single day, at the very least, I'm improving. I don't care if it's by small increments. I want to improve every single day. So, yeah. I don't know how I got in this huge tangent, but Mike, thank you for the comment, and Disto, thank you for the comment. It's good to be back. It's good to be back making these vlogs, but it's also it's gonna be a long night of editing and uploading. So I'm gonna end it here. Thank you all for watching. A lot of stuff to work on for tomorrow, but I'm excited about it. So thank you all for watching. I hope all your NoFap journeys are going well. Stay strong. Stay focused. I'm with you guys. I know you guys are with me. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.